So my plan for the day is to level up as much as I can, complete the maps, and hopefully re-explain the different aspects of the Revenant class. While I'm at it, I'll turn the volume down a bit more so my voice will come through more than... Okay, there we go. Alright, so let's enter the world of Tyria and get started. Very, very proud of my Sylvari girl of Orla or Oirlaith, whichever. Just took, as I mentioned in the previous videos, I took inspiration from the Irish Gaelic pronunciation and spelling of her name. So, as of personally for me, I would call her Orla, just because of that. But feel free to call her however you like. Okay, so completed every single thing for the Grove, which is the starting area and the capital city for the Sylvari. For those who don't know, still loading in, which will be a bit of a pain, but it's better than nothing. Okay, there we go. Welcome to the Grove. There we go. Beautiful, isn't it? It's definitely one of my favorite places to explore and just visit. Let's see. Okay, definitely that. Oh, that's right. I need to look at my... I need to look at the build I'm currently doing. Okay, so the Revenant class. Let me explain. Okay, so how leveling up works in Guild Wars 2 is that for each set level, depending on which one it is, about every 5 levels, up to level 80, you get 10 hero points. These hero points are your skill points. They level up your skill trees. You can also go around the map and collect them through like the hero challenges, which can be really easy or really difficult depending on the area. And you have to fill up every single skill tree even if you don't really use them, in order to unlock an elite specialization at level 80. The elite specializations are what you expect. They are your most powerful subclass or evolved form of your current class. For the Revenant, you have the Herald, which is like a jack of all trades kind of like thing. For me personally, I plan on going for a tank healer build with Herald. Renegade and Vindicator, for what I understand, is your DPS based elite specializations. You can heal and tank and DPS with just about any kind of thing any kind of specialization, depending on how you build it. But from what I understand, Renegade and Vindicator are pretty much the go-to for DPS when it's in terms of like the Revenant. Conduit is a very new one. It came with the Visions of Eternity expansion. I don't know much about it, but for what I understand, you do get a new spirit that the Revenant can channel. Oh right, I forgot about that. The Revenant is essentially a warrior class that is connected to the underworld, and they use this, and they are assigned specific spirits to do more abilities, to fuel their abilities. For me personally, because I'm going for a healer tank build, the dwarf Jawless will be one of my spirits, and Ventari, the centaur, will be my secondary until I get to Herald. Herald is Glint. You meet Glint later on in the Heart of Thorns expansion, I believe. But Glint is a dragon. She's very much a story-centric figure.
Age no longer affects us dwarves. Erosion, however.
That was Jawless.
So you get smoother instead of wrinkling.
Yep. For Renegade, you get the legendary Char warrior Kala Scorch Razor. The lore behind her is incredible. She pretty much liberated women from underneath the thumb of the Flame Legion for the Char. Not gonna go into it because spoilers, but if you want to learn more about Kala, I recommend reading up on her lore because it's really, really incredible. Vindicator, I don't know much about. But the two main spirits for that one is Luxon and Corsic, from what I understand. No, the Luxon and Corsic heroes. Okay, Archmorris and Saint Victor. Okay. Okay, so this is very much an acrobatic and burst DPS specialization. Okay, that's what it is. Okay. Okay, and the Renegade is very much a... Okay, I see what it does now. Okay. And Conduit... Raza. Okay, act as their conduit in battle. Gain cosmic wisdom. Take on the sets of abilities of other Revenant legends amplified by Raza's power. Okay, that's... Okay. Alright, so I don't know much about Raza because, again, Visions of Eternity, the newest expansion, and I have only played up to Heart of Thorns, which is the very first expansion. So I can't really explain in detail what that is. The demon and the assassin, which is Malix and Shiro, those are your DPS class, DPS skill trees for your core Revenant. Jawless is your tank. He's a dwarf, and like I mentioned, Ventari is your healer. Corruption is for Malix, the demon one. Retribution is Jawless, which is the tank one. Ventari is the healing one. Salvation, I mean. And then Vindication is Shiro, I believe. No. Devastation is Shiro. Okay, Devastation is Shiro. Vindication is pretty much a... Okay, it's just this bonus stat skill tree. Okay, okay, that's what it is. Okay, that's all it is. Okay, cool. Alright. When you get to level... I want to say 11... No, I think it was like level 20 something. That you're able to unlock the first one here. The first, like, skill, like... Yeah, like this thing right here. And then right here, specialization slot 2 is at level 45, and then the third one, which is your elites, is at level 71. Oh, it's at level 71, not 80. My bad. Okay. So, the good thing about Guild Wars 2 is that you can switch between these whenever you want. You don't have to pay money, you don't have to pay any in-game, you don't have to pay in-game currency for it, you don't have to pay real money to buy a separate ticket or whatever to do it, you can pretty much see, you can switch in between whichever one you want whenever you want. Another thing about Guild Wars 2 is the weapon system. Each weapon has their own unique abilities. You don't have the same abilities per weapon. Every single weapon has their own unique abilities that you can use. For me personally, since I'm using a healer build, my best bet is the staff for now. The staff is my primary weapon, and then when I get to Herald, a mace in one hand and a shield in the other for me personally. Those would be my secondary weapons for sure. Okay. Let's see. So for my skill tree here, it would be Jawless, Ventari, and then Glint for Herald down here. I would need to look at my skill tree, but I think the last one I'm going to do is either this one or this one of the two. It's one of these two. I'll have to look at the pictures, but I think these two are going to be one of my ending skills for Jawless's tree. Okay. Another thing that I love about Guild Wars 2, anything and everything that you unlock, achievements especially, on one character you unlock for the entire account. It's not per character, it's for the entire account. Masteries at level 80, that's account wide. That is an account wide unlock. It is not per character, it's account wide. I have a level 80 necromancer that I need to look at in terms of like redoing her build, because it is a bit outdated with the newest expansion. But she is my level 80, and she was the one that I played on the most to unlock those masteries. So the masteries that you saw here, right here for Central Tyria, which is the base game, then it's the Heart of Thorns and Path of Fire. I cheated a little bit because a veteran player, helps me get there to get the points for the masteries. But all these here, I did on my level 8, on my Necromancer. So as you can see, once I get to level 80, my mastery rank will be automatically 17.
What was your favorite of all the places you saw on your voyage?
For crafting materials, account wide. Once you get the materials you want, they'll be stored in the material storage. And they'll still be and I can use them across all of my characters. I don't have to keep gathering materials per character. It's all account wide. The only thing that's not account wide is the discovering the areas on the map itself. That is not account wide. You actually have to do that per character. These little dots here are my guild members. I'm not gonna hover over them because I respect their privacy. I'm a fairly new member for this guild, so I don't know ins and outs, and I'm trying not to step on anyone's toes for the most part. But yeah, but yeah, this map, it's huge. It's really huge. It's not the largest world map I've seen. Like Lord of the Rings Online and World of Warcraft's maps are a lot bigger than this, but for a game like Guild Wars 2, this is a lot. This is a huge map. A huge map. And I definitely look forward to exploring it again, for sure. Okay, so as a Sylvari, you start here. And then you work your way up, and then you work your way into the Brisbane Wilds, which I personally don't really enjoy, because to me it feels very empty in comparison to everything, this area here. Kryta is the humans starting area. The Maguma area here, that's the Heart of Thorns expansion. Not gonna deal with that until much later. This Shiver Peak Mountains, that's the Norn starting area. And then this area here is the Chars. This is the Char starting area. This area here is the Asura. The Asura starting area. I think there's only 5 races you can play as, which is fine because it keeps everything.
You fight like a natural-born dwarf.
Because it keeps everything like streamlined and stuff, but I kind of wish they had more specialization options for all the classes, not just the popular ones. Another thing I love about Guild Wars 2, there is no monthly subscription. You don't have to pay for this game every month. All you have to do is buy the base game, and then each expansion, and then you're done. That's it. You don't have to pay anything after that. Sure, each expansion is $25, including the base game. But what you get out of it is a lot. You get a lot of stuff for your money. For sure. You get your main story, which is your level 1 to 80. Your level 1 to 80 story. Then you have the Living World Seasons 1 and 2. A Heart of Thorns, which is the very first expansion. Then you have the Living World Season 3, Path of Fire, which is expansion number 2. The 4th Living World Season, and then the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Is that 7th? Oh, there is 7. Yeah, 7 expansions. So there's only 4 Living World Seasons, 7 expansions, and then your main character story. That's a lot. The one thing I don't really care for the Living World Seasons, is that you have to pay real money to get these diamonds to unlock each episode, and it's like $4 a piece. I think I had to do it. Yeah, I had to pay quite a bit of money for everything, but with the monthly subscription, I guess ArenaNet had to get their money somehow. The outfit that I'm currently wearing on Orla is cosmetic. I also had to pay real money to get this outfit. So it's not vanilla. You don't have any way to grind to get it or to craft it. You have to actually pay money to get the blue crystals to pay for it, to get this off the in-game store, unfortunately. But it is a beautiful item. I think it's the only cosmetic outfit that I've bought so far. Okay, Lion's Arch. You technically... Okay, so I am technically allowed to get here. I'll be here. Excuse me while I do this. Lion's Arch. It's a pretty much a harbor city. A lot of people spend a lot of time here because of just for the conveniency of it all, if that's the word for it. I should be going around and getting these waypoints, but I don't feel like it right now, to be honest. I really don't.
Almost there.
Alright, to Divinity's Reach. I don't know why it's giving me the runaround. Should have just teleported straight there if I'm able to, but the scenic route and all that. Okay. Where is it taking me now? All the way over there. Okay. And then where after? You kidding me, right? I could have just taken this waypoint here and then whatever. Scenic route. Scenic route. Why not? At least I can ride my mount in here so I can get there faster. There is that. Just need to remember how. Okay, maybe this way. Oh, that's a char, by the way. That's a char player. Yeah, this way. Okay. Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah. Move to another map. It's pretty much the same map, just a different instance where there's more players. It's to keep from other players from playing solo for too long. To keep things going in terms of like gameplay. That way people won't have to wait for long to group up. For like dungeons or world events or whatever. I am max high for Sylvari, so if you see me tower over people, that's why. Okay. The little hearts. This is these. Okay. So Guild Wars 2 technically doesn't have any side quests. What they have in place of them is these hearts. Once you complete the hearts, it's a done and done deal. Points of interest, waypoints. These all give you experience points. They help you level up. The hearts will give you the most, especially when you're first starting out. Discovering new areas. Yeah, discovering new areas. Getting these waypoints, completing the hearts. They all give you experience as well as combat. Might as well do this while I'm here.
How do you do?
Okay. And each area of the map, no matter what level you are, will level sync you to the area. To the map area. If you are a higher level.
You said it couldn't get any worse.
Okay. Oh, there it is right there. Oh, well, that was easy. To be expected, though, because I am level 33 and this is level 6 area, but still. Yeah. Yeah, that filled up my XP bar a little bit. Alright, that's one. Alright. But yeah, those are your side quests. And all technicalities. My favorite areas. Oh, another heart. Okay. My favorite areas to explore are the Shepherd Peak Mountains. In all honesty, my very first character was a Norn. My necromancer is a Norn. So every single time I got the Shepherd, every single time I created a Norn character, I would get the Shepherd Peak Mountains, which is one of, if not my most favorite area, the entire game. Aside from the char areas.
You got me.
I like playing as a char. I had an engineer before I deleted her because I wasn't playing her as much. But I did like the story. I did like the lore because
Rare treasure.
the first Guild Wars game, from what I remember, from what I've been told, is was primarily a war or feud between the humans and the char. So, and the char pretty much yeah, let's just say they done goofed up and left it at that. But this game,
Only I could.
if I had to compare it to other games, it would be a mixture between, I want to say Dragon Age, the Dragon Age games, and the Lord of the Rings Online MMO. Highly, like just the feel of it, and and how the lore is built and everything for both. And I love both games. I love Dragon Age Origins and I love Dragon Age Inquisition. I also love Lord of the Rings Online. Huge MMO, but highly recommend it. Highly, highly recommend that one.
You're kidding, right?
I would say World of Warcraft is another game that this game kind of reminds me of, especially with the much more fantasy elevated areas like the Grove, Caledon Forest, as well as Maguma, like Heart of Thorns, expansion. But in terms of like overall vibes and feel, the Dragon Age games and Lord of the Rings Online would have to be my number two contenders overall.
You're kidding, right?
Wrong choice. Slight pain.
Help me over here.
Oh my god, what are these?
You got me.
This lady here is an elementalist. That is one of the hardest classes to play in this game. Technically, engineer should be as complicated, but from my personal experience, elementalist is a very difficult class to master. It's not like, say, Black Mage in the Final Fantasy series. It's not like the Shaman or the Wizard or the Mage from any other games. You literally have to keep switching between elements and make combinations between those elements, especially as a Weaver where you're doing melee and magic DPS in order to play the class as efficiently as you can. I had a Weaver Elementalist. She was my very first character. I did not know what I was getting into. I just saw magic, I just saw elements, and thought, whoo, they'll be easy. I know how to play this. Nope. Heart of Thorns kicked my butt because I did not know how to play that class correctly. And I will freely admit, it was a skill issue on my point, but for new players, do not go headfirst into Elementalist unless you truly want to and are dedicated to learning the class in its entirety, because that is just how difficult it is. If you Elementalist and Engineer are 3 dots classes. 3 dots is your most complicated ones. The 2 dot are your intermediate ones. Revenant is a 2 dot. And then your 1 dot, like Warrior, Paladin, Hunter, and Necromancer, they are your easiest classes to play in this game. Your 2 dot classes, I believe, are Revenant, Mesmer, and Thief. They are your 2 dot classes. And then your 3 dot classes are the Engineer and Elementalist, like I mentioned. I think those are your main ones. As of now, where Guild Wars 2 is, they have not added more classes, but they have added at least one new specialization per class. Um, that's a hard, but I ain't gonna do it right now. I've only ever tried the Necromancer, the Engineer, the Revenant, the Elementalist, and I think that's about it. I do want to eventually try... Did I mention Paladin earlier? No, I meant Guardian. My bad. The Guardian is your Paladin class for Guild Wars 2, and it is a 1-dot class. I do want to eventually try Guardian and Mesmer personally, just to see what they're like, and maybe Warrior too, because I am curious as to how I'm curious about one of the specializations it has called the Harbinger, which is pretty much Warrior's answer to being like an arcane warrior, so to speak. But we shall see. We shall very much see. For now, I just wanna hopefully get y'all interested in playing the game, as well as showcase my own gameplay for Guild Wars 2. Am I going the right way? No, I'm not. Okay, well. Oh wait, yes I am, okay. I just got confused about the paintbrush strokes on the map. Yeah, the paintbrush strokes are they help you figure out which areas you have not and have discovered while you are exploring the game. Like if you see like a blurry, smudged part of the map, that's an area you have not explored yet. Oh yeah. Gathering notes like this, every character can go up to it and get the same thing. It's not like a first come first serve. Each player can go up to, say, the sapling here and gather the wood from it all at the same time. And it will respawn eventually. When you get your homestead in the Janthier Wilds, you can also create a garden where you can grow your own crops and stuff. Oh, this dude's a necromancer. See the minions that he has? That's how you can tell. There we go. Got a hero point. Oh, this is not his first character. Oh, he's a level 80. He's a level 80 necromancer. Oh, no, that's a different character. Dragon Hunter. Dragon Hunter. That is... Guardian? Oh, that's pretty. I love the wings. And the helmet. Oh, it's a backpack. Okay. But yeah, that's a really pretty outfit. She's definitely going for a Valkyrie look. I think she's a guardian. Dragon Hunter might be the guardian spec. I don't know much about it, in all honesty. Mesmer. This dude's a Mesmer. Because of this, yeah, Mesmer here. Mesmers use illusion magic. That's pretty much what they do. They use illusion magic, and they are, lore-wise for Guild Wars 2, they are extremely powerful. But yeah, what I've noticed about Guild Wars 2 is that there is not a lot of drama. I've only been playing for a year, so I really can't say what it was like back in the day. But this game has very little drama, very little toxicity from what I've seen so far. And everybody's willing to help everybody out. From what, as well as gather together to do world events and defeat world bosses and stuff. Whether or not you're in a guild or not doesn't really matter. It wasn't like this. It wasn't like this in World of Warcraft. It really wasn't. I played World of Warcraft from 2010 up until 2 or 3 months after The War Within um was released back in last year or 2 years ago. One of the two. Um but I played from Cataclysm in 2010 up until The War Within. On and off. It wasn't like okay. It wasn't a okay, it's a group event. It wasn't something that I did regularly because I was in school at the time. I was in high school and then I was in college. So I didn't have enough time to play the game as regularly as most other people would. Plus I was going through some personal things at the time as well, so I didn't really have enough energy, motivation, or time just to play the game as much as I would love to. Alright, where's my... But I have a very extensive list when it comes to playing MMOs. Adventure Quest Worlds back in the early 2000s. Then it was World of Warcraft, El Sword, Lord of the Rings Online, Star Wars: The Old Republic, Wizard 101, and a few others. I can't remember their names at the moment, but it's an extensive list, a very extensive list. Okay, player. It's a player. Oh, that's why. Okay. Yeah, I'm very weak at the moment in comparison to how my other character is, but it is what it is. Oh, he's a weaver. Oh, that poor soul. No wonder he had a hard time. Oh my god. Because it is kind of like private. Alright. So yeah, as you can see, he was redoing his build.
Protected.
Oh shit. That was something at least. But yeah, I think that part with the whole conversation with the Weaver and stuff, I think I'm just gonna cut that out in the final editing. So if you see like a very weird gap, that's why, for the most part. We got necromancer here. I am not very good with my build yet. And this is one of... I'm still learning how to play Ravenet. Overall. He is... Okay, so he just got to level 80. He's still playing core necromancer. He either hasn't unlocked a specialization yet, or he's working on unlocking one. Okay, I need to... Okay, there's a hero point. Okay, I need to get over there. Okay, that's where I need to go. So what I'm gonna do is grab that hero point down there and then head over to here. I'm just gonna swim the distance. Okay. Underwater combat, a big huge... It's a thing. It's a thing here. In Guild Wars 2. Okay, that dude's dead. Yeah, I'm gonna... See if I can't get up here. Okay. It's right there.
Coming up the hill. operating just fine.
She... Warrior. This character's a warrior.